Welcome to the 7 o'clock English news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. Signed by His Majesty the Sultan, His Highness Said Asad bin Tariq Al Said participates in the third virtual leaders summit of the Voice of the Global South and stresses the need for cooperation to confront global challenges and the right of the Palestinian people to establish their independent state. The Sultan of Oman's GDP for non-oil activities increased during the first quarter of this year by 6.5%. The Royal Academy of Administration launches the Future Leaders program with the aim to enhancing and developing the leadership skills of Oman youth. And the Ministry of Health confirms that no cases of monkeypox have been recorded in the Sultanate of Oman so far. Those are the headlines. Now the news in detail. Signed by His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq, His Highness Said Asad bin Tariq Al Said, Deputy Prime Minister for International Relations and Cooperation Affairs and Special Representative of His Majesty the Sultan, participated in the third Virtual Leaders Summit of the Voice of the Global South, which was held today under the chairmanship of Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of India, with the participation of a number of heads of state and heads of governments. During the summit, His Highness delivered a speech which he conveyed the greetings of His Majesty the Sultan and the good wishes to the Indian government and the Indian people for hosting the summit, which comes under the theme An Empowered Global South for a Sustainable Future. His Highness said that the world faces various and serious challenges that affect security and stability, stressing that sustainable solutions to these challenges can only come through dialogue, cooperation, and joint action to consolidate the pillars of international peace and security. His Highness also referred to the Palestinian cause, which requires a just and fair stance by the international community, affirming the right of the Palestinian people to self-determination and the establishment of the independent state on their land in order to achieve peace and stability in the region. His Highness also pointed out that the Sultan of Oman has drawn up through Oman Vision 2040 a roadmap to achieve a diversified and sustainable economy based on innovation and knowledge, stressing that the Sultan of Oman believes that achieving the goals of sustainable development for all requires collective cooperation at the regional and international levels. His Highness stated that the Sultan of Oman has set ambitious goals to achieve zero carbon neutrality by 2050 through integrated strategies for renewable energy and improving energy efficiency. His Highness also affirmed the Sultan of Oman's support for the principles of the summit and the emphasis on constructive work with the friends of the Global South to achieve common goals and the aspirations of their peoples for development, prosperity, security, and stability. The summit discussed a wide range of issues affecting developing countries, most notably climate change, exploring cooperative solutions to achieve sustainable development and global governance, and strengthening diplomatic relations and cooperation between the countries of the Global South to address common challenges such as health crisis, economic instability, and food security. The Sultan of Oman's GDP for non-oil activities increased during the first quarter of this year by 6.5% to reach 1 billion Omani Riyals, while at current price amounted to about 7.2 billion Omani Riyals. More details in the following report.
Recent GDP data for Oman reveals continued expansions in non-oil sector driving economic growth. The Minister of Economy highlights the manufacturing sector as a major contributor with a real growth rate exceeding 9% year-over-year. These sectors' contribution to GDP stands at 10% in constant prices and 10.5% at current prices. The transportation and storage sector also performed well, with a real growth rate close to 8% and contributing over 6% to GDP. The construction sector, recovering since late last year, saw a growth of around 3%, supporting overall GDP growth due to its significant contribution over 8%. Additionally, the agriculture, forestry and fishing sectors grew by 6.5%, while industrial activities increased by about 6% and service activities by nearly 4% annually. Conversely, oil activities experienced a decline of over 2% due to reduced oil production and slower growth in crude oil activities. Looking ahead to 2025, the final year of the 10th five-year plan, GDP growth is expected to continue rising, supported by strong performance in non-oil sectors, which are projected to grow by more than 3%. Economic prospects are further bolstered by the anticipated recovery in oil activities. Abdullah bin Ahmed al-Rabi'i, Sultanate of Oman Television.
The Royal Academy of Administration has launched the Future Leaders program to enhance the leadership skills of Omani youth and to develop them in line with Oman's future vision. The program aims to develop Omani talents and competences, enhance their leadership skills, and enable participants to develop effective leadership skills, strategic thinking, and innovative solutions. In addition to enhancing awareness of the importance of innovation and positive change in the work environment, the program targets 50 Omani youth between the ages of 25 and 34 from the public and private sectors. The program includes intensive learning sessions, interactive workshops, and practical training, and focuses on facing real challenges and learning from local and international leadership experiences. The Minister of Health confirmed that no cases of monkeypox have been recorded in the Sultanate of Oman so far, calling on citizens and residents to follow the news from official authorities. The ministry stated that the Center for Disease Control and Prevention and the Emergency Management Center is following up on developments regarding the monkeypox virus after the World Health Organization declared monkeypox a public health emergency. The ministry confirmed the availability of the necessary laboratory tests for diagnose the disease and its direct and continuous coordination with the World Health Organization and international and regional organizations concerned with the monitoring infectious diseases. On other news, more than 15 Palestinians were murdered and dozens were injured in an Israeli raid in the central Gaza Strip. Medical sources say that the Israeli occupation forces launched 3 raids on the southern entrance to the town of Al-Zuwaida, targeting tents of the displaced. Meanwhile, the Israeli forces continue to bomb areas in the cities of Khan Yunis and Rafah in the southern Gaza Strip. The number of martyrs in the Gaza has exceeded 40,000 and the number of wounded has risen to more than 19,000 Palestinians. 90,000. U.S. Secretary General Antonio Guterres called on both sides of the conflict in Gaza to provide concrete guarantees to declare humanitarian ceasefires to allow for the polio vaccination campaign. Guterres' statements came after the Palestinian Minister of Health reported the first confirmed case of polio in the city of Deir al-Balah in the Strip, involving a 10-month-old infant who had not received any vaccination doses and due to the war. Guterres explained that there is a need to vaccinate at least 95% of the children, adding that success of the campaign requires facilitating the transfer of vaccines and refrigeration equipment at every step and entry of polio experts into Gaza. The Israeli Occupation Army announced that 2 soldiers were injured, one of them seriously, in Lebanon as a result of shell fired from Lebanon. Earlier, the Lebanese authorities announced that at least 10 people were killed and others were injured in an Israeli raid on a residential building in the city of Nabatiyah. in southern Lebanon. Media sources say that the Israeli raid targeted Wadi al-Kafur area in Nabatea, southern Lebanon, killing 10 people, including a woman and her 2 children, in addition to injuring 5 people. The Ukrainian Air Force said that it shot down 14 Shahed drones for over 6 Ukrainian regions. Russia said Ukrainian forces used what were likely US-made HIMARS missiles to destroy a bridge over a river of Kursk region, killing volunteers trying to evacuate civilians. South Korea decided to strengthen quarantine measures at its ports of entry after the World Health Organization declared the outbreak of the monkeypox in Africa a global public health emergency. Government officials confirmed that the current situation of monkeypox in South Korea remains in control under the current protocols. As of August 9th, South Korea has recorded 10 cases of monkeypox this year, down from 151 cases last year. In Spain, the Spanish Ministry of Health announced that it has recorded 264 cases of monkeypox since the beginning of this year, stressing that the symptoms observed were not different or more severe compared to previous years. Back in the Sultanate, the Civil Aviation Authority indicated that the latest weather maps and analysis of the National Center for Early Warning of Multiple Hazards indicate that the Sultanate of Oman's atmosphere may be affected by the low pressure system from the Arabian Sea, starting from the evening of next Monday until Wednesday, August 21st, this year, 2024. The authority stated that the clouds are expected to flow in form over most of the governorates of the Sultanate of Oman, with chances of scattered rain, sometimes thunderstorms. The volume of trade exchange between the Sultanate of Oman and the countries of the Americas increased by more than 6% by the end of last May on an annual basis, approaching 743 million Omani riyals. The National Center for Statistics Information indicated that the United States of America came first in trade exchange, followed by Brazil, while mineral products came at the forefront of imports, followed by vehicles, aircrafts, ships, and similar transport equipment. The ordinary metals came at the forefront of exports, followed by plastics and rubber. Oman Business Platform, affiliated to the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Investment Promotion, completed about 487,300 transactions during the first half of 2024, while the number of automatic licenses issued during the same period of the current year amounted to 195,556 licenses. A number of non-automatic licenses issued through the platform amounted to 6,061 licenses the first half of the current year, and the number of e-commerce licenses amounted to 1,747 during the same period of 2024. The ministry aims through the platform to facilitate business procedures and encourage investors to establish various projects that support the national economy. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television. Before tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. As signed by His Majesty the Sultan, His Highness Said Asad bin Tariq Al Said participates in the third Virtual Leaders Summit of the Voice of the Global South and stresses the need for cooperation to confront global challenges and the right of the Palestinian people to establish their independent state. The Sultanate of Oman's GDP for non-oil activities increased during the first quarter of this year by 6.5%. The Royal Academy of Administration launches the Future Leaders program with the aim of enhancing and developing the leadership skills of Omani youth. And the Ministry of Health confirms that no cases of monkeypox have been recorded in the Sultan of Oman so far. Alhamdulillah. And with that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin from Bulletin newsroom and the studios. Myself, Suhail Al-Kindi. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Good night.